Hey everyone, welcome back to the Roissy Reader. Today I'll be doing a reading of an article entitled When Women Stop Loving Beta Males. And this is a follow-up. Although it was written years later, it was a follow-up to the previous video I did, which is Compassion Creates More Cads. So the title of the article, When Women Stop Loving Beta Males, originally published December 5th, 2013. A new study provides further confirmation of the CH view of women's sexual nature. The executive summary: women screw around with charming cads and ignore beta providers when their financial needs are met by the state or by a rich daddy, and their emotional needs are met by a supportive culture that condones the removal of all restrictions of female sexuality. Quote, and this is quoting the study here: while a great diversity of sexual norms exist around the world, ranging from strictly enforced monogamy to polyamory, according to Scelza's new study, there are two environmental contexts where women commonly choose multiple partners. The first is where women have more material support from their kin or economic independence from men more generally. This may explain why multiple mating is most common among small-scale matrilocal societies in which women remain in their home village after marriage, such as the partible paternity societies of South America or the Masao of China. It may also explain why female infidelity has increased in Western societies, as women have gained greater political and economic independence. For example, Iceland was ranked first in gender equality by the World Economic Forum in 2013, at the same time that 67% of children were born out of wedlock. The highest rate in the Western world, for that matter. Under this scenario, women chose multiple partners because they had more options available to them. They can rely on their support network during transitional times, and they have greater personal autonomy. The second environmental context Scelza identified is where the sex ratio is female biased, indicating a scarcity of men, or there is a high level of male unemployment, indicating a scarcity of men who can provide support. Women may be trying to make the best of a bad situation and capitalizing on their youth to improve their reproductive prospects. And of course, the writer put that in quotes, so we're not supposed to take that seriously. Anyway, moving on. In such environments, women tend to have higher rates of teen pregnancy as well as illegitimate births. Multiple mating may be a way of hedging their bets in an unstable environment. By pursuing an ardent sexual strategy, women are able to choose the best potential males as well as gain the support they need in order to maximize their reproductive success. The Slate author digesting this study is another one of those borderline males suffering from cerebral palsy. You can tell by how dutifully he parrots feminist boilerplate in a vain effort to whitewash the real implications of the study, or to redirect readers away from crime-think, where he's basically saying, oh my god, wow, just wow, I don't even know, slut-shaming, let our women bang, that's true sexual equality when women can screw around like men. So if you can get past his vagina flapping, there are some nuggets of inference to be made. For instance, when the provisioning and support services of beta males are rendered extraneous by the economic self-sufficiency and pro-independent tank girl cultural agitprop afforded modern Western women, those women are more likely to choose alpha cads for fun and genetic profit. Heartiste called attention to this phenomenon years ago, and now science, as it is wanted, has once again vindicated the eagle-eyed CH observations about the machinery of the sexual market. Or think about what a world of financially and sexually freed women pursuing an alpha fucks betas chucked strategy looks like. Yeah, if sub-Saharan Africa leapt to mind, you're on the right track. A feminist utopia is not far removed in practice from the worst shit pits in the world. You take away any incentive for beta males to invest in cock carouseling post-prime women, and to cooperate with shameless sluts to raise the next generation, you are looking down the barrel of civilizational rot. Luckily, there's much ruin in a population's group-ingrained sexual mores. The West, still mostly white, has an evolved store of genetic imperatives that drive them to favor monogamy over promiscuity or free love, sex at dawn style polyamory. As Razib demurred, the problem with these sorts of studies so beloved by the degenerate freak mafia over at Slate is that the main gripe is not West versus Rest or Eurasian versus Rest. In other words, be careful about the international comparisons of sexual behavior for the Swipple crowd, because they may not like what the data would imply about their beloved pet cultures. But that Western store of monogamous feeling can run out, or can become so warped from mismanagement that dysfunction blooms in the absence of once venerated social constraints. Genetic predisposition can become overwhelmed by strong cultural forces acting in the opposite direction. Enerve it the people of the West enough, acclimatize their women to state largesse and shamelessness, and any desire for monogamy and paternal assurance will wilt under the pressure. Puss boys who cheerlead for a female-led, promiscuous, feminist future have a blind spot regarding any blowback. It's a there's no victim party all the time for leftoids, who are incapable of considering the consequences of their childish, narcissistic acting out. Like most manginas, they lack the intellectual integrity to tackle the reality of female hypergamy, and wrongly assume that a free love paradise that impugns marriage and female chasteness will mean more sex for all men. No, it will mean more sex for alpha males. No effort is given to understanding the male reaction to unfettered female sexual autonomy. Not a scintilla of curiosity of how men will respond when women choose multiple partners because they have more options available to them, and thus they can rely on the support network during transitional times and have greater personal autonomy. So, do Western women live in a vacuum? Or do they live in a world where men exercise choice and respond to incentives? Where the men loathe the prospect that their girlfriends or spouses might be carrying the love child of a DJ or yoga class instructor. The feminist-lauded support network, with Hillary-esque "it takes a village" overtones, will surely become less supportive as increasing numbers of men, disillusioned with the growing ranks of cad-chasing sluts, drop out, taking their sweat and their money with them, ultimately depriving the state of its ability to transfer resources from men to women. Civilization banks on getting men to invest in its continuance, and the tool it uses is monogamy and guarantees of one woman, one man. If women renege on their end of the deal, well, don't be surprised if men renege on theirs. The sexual market is a giant biofeedback loop. More female economic and sexual autonomy will cause perturbations throughout every facet of life. And you don't need to cast afar to see just what a free love society that caters entirely to women's sexual prerogatives means. Just listen for the sound of gunshots in the ghetto and the silence of empty playgrounds in the suburbs. That will conclude the article. This has been the Roissy Reader with When Women Stop Loving Beta Males. Thank you again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.